Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Philip Moore of Guyana and the Universe, article for Caribbean Beat, 1996. What I've done a lot. And not just paint for the sake of painting, but paint that the words will work and be like a psychic force to stimulate that creative subconscious energy in man. Immediately on entering Castellani House, you are greeted by two of his grand and powerful works of 1978, a painting Kanji Bridge and a wood carving Stool of Resistance, Labor and Resistance, the story of Guyana, and of more than Guyana. Not even the narrow space across which you must view it can dim the splendor of this spanking new bridge across the Ganges River. Streams of light flow from a single sun, multiplied into many suns, rhythmically, a drumbeat of visual rhythms and repetitions. White and fluffy bird clouds hover above. On the bridge, a team of humanity, crossing and mingling. It is the day to celebrate the opening of the bridge, a quarantine Sunday. Officialdom must have been in attendance, although there is no sign of them. Instead, hundreds of faces of ordinary people massing on their bridge, walking over water. United Americas is written in words above the bridge's center. American money and Guyanese labor, he explains. To represent navigation, a bird swims under. In the foreground, the green hard paths driven deep into the earth, end in beds of peas and corn and simple growing things it took to nourish those who labored on the bridge across the Ganges River. Philip Alfonso Moore, the Emmanuel Kweku Morji, was born on October 12, 1921, in Manchester Village on the quarantine coast of Guyana. He attended Manchester Church of Scotland School, earning his school-leaving certificate in 1938. It was to be the end of his formal education. 32 years later, he was appointed artist-in-resident and tutor in wood sculpture at Princeton University. He recalls with pride the day students from 4th to 6th standard were gathered to listen to this untrained, self-taught artist. He spoke of art and God. When God said, "From the sweat of thy brow thou shalt eat bread," that was not all that he said. He said too that by the meditation of your hearts, you can be in attunement with me, and by the craftiness of your minds, you will make gardens even better than Eden. Those words are not a threat to man. Those words became what we call a consolation to man, and man became co-creator with God to make things for his own happiness. Before he carved his first head that day in a tent of plain trash in a Skeldon cane field more than 50 years ago, he had a dream in which a black hand holding a gouge reached down to him from a golden cloud and sent him forth to carve and make art. Art that is a consolation for man as a co-creator with God. As he explains, when I carve up to a certain point, I feel that I was holding a piece of wood in my hand. It seemed to me that I was holding the mind of the world in my hand. Moore has always been on the side of national reconciliation. Among his many disappointments with the 1763 monument is the absence of the wheel of eternal revolution, which was designed to be part of the monument. The wheel is made up of the cup, the coconut tree, and the sun, the symbols of the main political parties at the independence period. The wood carving integration mask, with the coconut tree growing out of the cup with the sun overhead, speaks to the same issue, making use of the same symbols. A lasting disappointment for Moore, in addition to his grievances over the fate of the monument, is that the work he has devoted a lifetime to producing is not serving the purpose it was created to serve. He feels deeply that instead of being rolled up and stored away to gather dust and deteriorate, the work should be carried in exhibitions across the country, to the schools, the community centers, to village festivals, and other ceremonies. His large canvases are not stretched and framed, but designed to be threaded with cord and hung. As a young artist on the current team, Moore carried his works from place to place, sometimes by donkey cart, exhibiting them in schools and other public spaces. I left him working on the bridge of the diaspora, dominated by the figure of Mother Africa, its architecture composed of white bodies and boats full of their black human cargo. I have been thinking of his great bridges, the Brooklyn Bridge of Stars and Stripes, stars for the whites and stripes for the blacks, with its underground and ghetto hell in the shadow of the sparkling towers of Manhattan, of the delicate kissing bridge over the pond of lilies in the Botanic Gardens, remembering the music at the bandstand and the promise of romance afterwards. In his mind were the bridges of his childhood, the coconut tree bridge over a trench, the bridge on the dam for the tractor to pass, and being who and what he is, the bridges we need to build inside ourselves if we are to integrate mind, soul, and body. Could anyone in 1979, year of rebellion and sharp steel, have imagined that in 1996, I would be sitting in President Burnham's attic, Castellani House, thinking about art and its power to redeem? Philip Moore is the bridge I crossed to get there.